This is how I've learned German and what resources helped me with that. I've been learning German for a few recent years, and I discovered a lot of resources that can help you quickly improve your German from A1 to C2 level. I went through everything you can imagine. I joined courses in language schools, I tried language exchange, I lived abroad in Germany for 2 years. I bought a lot of books, checked a lot of websites and YouTube channels because I was pretty determined to learn German. In this way, I found the best resources and I'm gonna share them with you today. I believe that finding the right resources is crucial in learning a new foreign language fast. On the internet or in the bookstore, there's a bunch of different language learning materials, but the key is to choose wisely and use them properly. That's why in today's video I'm gonna also share with you my method to learn and my study plan that made me fluent. If you are interested in knowing my current level of German, I have videos on this channel where I speak German, so I will link them here or in the description. On this channel, I share with you what I've learned during my language learning journey, so if you wanna see my future videos, click the subscribe button and let's go! In this video, I will talk about course books from A1 to C2, grammar books, online websites from A1 to C2, YouTube channels, podcasts, German music, the best online dictionaries, language courses and language exchange, free apps to learn German, my method, and my study plan. There is a time slot on this video, so you can watch any part you are interested in. Let's go! Number 1. Course books from A1 to C2. Some people claim that course books may not be the future of learning foreign languages. However, there are some benefits of using them, especially at the beginning of learning a new foreign language. I used many course books during my language learning journey, mostly because I've joined some German courses at the university. I remember that I used Menschen at the beginning of learning German, so from A1 to B1 level. Then I used Aspekte at B2 level, and that was probably my favorite one. I believe that since you are on B2 level or higher, you can continue learning a foreign language in a more natural way than just from a course book. However, if you like this style of learning, I can recommend you a course book called Sicher for C1 or a course book called Erkundungen for C2. Number 2. Grammar books. Besides course books, another thing that I would recommend you to invest in at the beginning of learning any foreign language, especially German, is a well-organized grammar book. I actually recommend you the most grammar books that have translations and explanations in your native language, because thanks to that you can understand the rule much faster. You can also build some connections between your native language and German, and I think that it will help you a lot in the long run. My native language is Polish, that's why my favorite book is Nowe Repetytorium z języka niemieckiego Stanisława Benzy. But if your native language is English, I can recommend you a book called Hammers, German Grammar and Usage, because I came across this book and I think it's pretty well organized and it's gonna be very useful for an English native speaker who wants to learn German. Number 3. Online websites from A1 to C2. It's time to talk about the best websites to learn German. There is Deutsche Welle, where you can practice your German from A1 to C2 level. You can watch short videos, do the exercises and learn new vocabulary and a bit of grammar as well. Goethe Institute is another website with a lot of free exercises and language materials. You can even use examples of tests for Goethe certificates to actually practice or check your German knowledge. Another website is antihulin.com, and I definitely recommend this one to practice grammar from A1 to B2 level. There are a lot of useful exercises, and it is constructed as if you were to take 2 years German course at the university in the USA. Number 4. YouTube channels. There are a lot of YouTube channels dedicated to learn German. For example, Deutsch verstehen. There you can watch short stories in German and learn new expressions from dialogues. Linkster Academy. There you can learn mostly German grammar. Dein Sprachcoach. There you can learn new vocabulary, grammar and new expressions. Easy German. You can check this out if you are interested in street interviews in German. There are probably many more, but those are my favorite ones that I used to use to study. There are also a lot of German YouTube channels dedicated to German native speakers, and I recommend you to listen to them regardless on your level. I know it might be surprising or controversial, but this is what I did. I used to listen to a lot of German YouTube channels even though I couldn't understand much. And over time, it helped me to learn faster, because even though you cannot understand much, you can still memorize words that are often repeated, and you can also get used to German accent. I guarantee you that your pronunciation, after you start listening a lot, will be way better. My favorite YouTube channels are Dinge erklärt, kurz gesagt, ein bisschen besser, Psychologie im Alltag, if you are interested in psychology, Mr. Wissen to Go, and Mr. Wissen to Go Geschichte, if you are interested in history. Recently, I discovered a new German YouTube channel that I like a lot. It's called Simplicissimus. I think this channel is very interesting because they create a lot of videos on some controversial topics. So those are my favorite German YouTube channels that I used to listen to a lot. Number 5, podcasts. Podcasts that I recommend you to learn German are, for example, Easy German. It is similar to the YouTube channel that I mentioned. You can listen to a small talk in German about some everyday topics. The interviewer asks public the questions and they simply give them their own opinion. It is easy to understand and you can learn a lot of useful everyday life expressions. Another podcast is Coffee Break German. You can learn German in coffee breaks lessons. They last from 15 to 20 minutes. They are focused on language that you need to know to understand a German native speaker. It's like a coffee break. Another podcast is Slow German. The Slow German series has episodes for absolute beginners. It is recorded in English, but it's filled with a lot of useful German beginner vocabulary. It is a great resource for people who have absolutely no knowledge of the language. Another podcast is News in Slow German. This podcast covers word news, German grammar, and commonly used expressions in a slightly slower than usual manner. Another podcast that is worth mentioning is the Germany Experience. If you want to hear some tips and advice for the life in Germany from the point of view of foreigners, this podcast is definitely for you. Number 6, German music. Learning new vocabulary through songs and music can be an effective method. That's why I would like to mention my favorite German bands and singers. If you like metal or rock music, I would recommend you Rammstein, Tokyo Hotel, and Die Ärzte. If you prefer pop music, as I do, I would listen to Nena, Helene Fischer, Wir sind Helden, and Silbermond. Number 7, the best online dictionaries. The best online dictionary, in my opinion, for German is Reversal Context, because you can see a lot of examples with new words. You can also see conjugations of verbs in different tenses. Plus, you can save new words in your favorites, so you can go back to them and repeat them whenever you want. My next favorite German dictionary is Duden Dictionary. It shows you a lot of different meanings, synonyms, and even origins of the word. I also often use online dictionary and mobile app called Diki, because it has translations to my native language. Number 8, language courses and language exchange. Language courses may not be the fastest way to learn a foreign language, but still they're a good way to start learning. The main advantage of language courses is that everything you need is actually organized for you. So you have a teacher, you have a course booked, and you know what to do. I can recommend you Goethe Institute. It is probably one of the most reliable language schools of German. They organize German courses at all levels, face-to-face courses, online courses, and then you can also take Goethe certificates. They are located all over the world, so there are high chances that you can find them in your city. Another possibility is to find your own German teacher. It is probably way more pricey and it all depends on your current level and needs. You can look for a teacher on italki or Lingoda for that. However, I have another alternative if you are on a budget, and it is to find a language partner. In this way, you can practice speaking and learn new vocabulary together. You can meet online or in real life. You can look for people who are interested in language exchange, for example, on Facebook groups that I dedicated for that. I have tried a few times and I think it can be pretty effective if you manage to find the right person who is as excited about learning foreign languages as you and with who you have good connection. Then you can save some money on language classes and practice your German with a language partner. Pretty good option in my opinion. Number 9. Free apps to learn German. Deutsche Welle has also a mobile application that is pretty similar to the website, so I definitely recommend you this one. Another very well-known app is Duolingo. This app alone may not make you fluent, but it is probably a better way to spend your time than scrolling on TikTok, for example. The good thing about it is that you can actually use it wherever you are. For example, while waiting in a queue or sitting in a bus. And you can learn some new expressions in the meantime, so it can be pretty useful. To learn new vocabulary, you can use apps like Quizlet or Memrise, where you can create your own flashcards online, or you can reuse some existing flashcards of other users. Number 10. My method. My language learning method is actually based on a lot of different methods, because I believe that diversifying your learning is highly effective. It can help you in mastering different language skills, so speaking, listening, writing, reading, and grammar. Learning the same thing in different ways can help you to strengthen the information in your memory. And additionally, it can prevent you from feeling bored. So, to be specific, to learn German fluently, I focused on language immersion. I listen to German most of my free time, also while eating, cleaning, or sitting on the bus, for example. I used to read simple texts in newspapers, and I used to write down new words in my notebook. I used the 1000-word method. I was journaling in German and writing to some of my friends in German. I used to attend the German course, and I basically tried all the things that I mentioned in this video. And it gave my brain a strong stimulus to learn. That's why I think that diversifying your learning is the best way to learn. 11. My study plan. My study plan was pretty flexible, and I think that this is actually a good thing. We all have way more responsibilities than just language learning, and that's why it is good to find a proper balance and integrate language learning into your daily activities. So, during the time when I used to live in Germany, I started my day by listening to a German radio or listening to a podcast in German. I used to eat breakfast at the same time. In the afternoon, I used to study for about 15 minutes to half an hour, and I used to join a language course 2 times per week. I think that the key in successfully learning a foreign language is all about finding a routine that you can maintain in the long run. So, if you have 15 minutes to study per day, dedicate this time to progress, because the consistent effort is what matters. However, I think that it is definitely a good idea to study more intensively from time to time. So, if you have more time during the weekends, you can dedicate, for example, 1 hour for a study session. It will for sure speed up your language learning progress. The way I would organize 1 hour study session during the weekend is, for example, to choose a YouTube video or a video from Deutsche Welle. I would watch it 2 times, I would write down new vocabulary, I would translate it, and I would also write my own summary of it. Another idea for 1 hour study session is to focus on grammar. For example, I would learn a new tense. I would practice it with some exercises, write down my own examples, and I would also check the conjugations. I would also create my own sentences to practice the rule that I've learned. And this is how I usually studied on my own. In the video that is visible on the screen, I share with you all the things I wish I knew before learning German. So check this out and thank you for watching.